Sensacional.
They found his coat by the river stones. Boot tracks cut through mud and bones. 3 black crosses by the water line. Smoke moves slow through the pines. He had a lawman's badge split clean in two. A cracked old gun and a dead come due. No one asked what fire he crossed, but every sinner knew who lost. They said he drowned where the flood ran deep, but the river shook in its sleep. The dead reeds cried, some men come back when the guilty lie. He came back from the hell-bent river, fire in his hands, cold black stare. He walked through the water like a loaded sinner, and the devil stepped back when he found him there. No chain could drag him under, no grave could make him stay. He was a storm on the black road, the debt they had to pay. He rode into town when the lamps burned low, wet black hat and a ghostly glow. The judge looked down and turned away when he heard those boots on Judgment Day. He said, I came for the hands that left me dead. You sold my blood, now pay instead. The saloon door slammed, the horses cried. The church bell cracked on the sinner's side, and far below where lost soul shivered, the devil heard that hell-bent river.
Fez hoje.
He
Fez hoje. Você foi
hell-bent river.
hoje. Você fez hoje. Deixa eu ouvir hoje mais cedo.
Cold black stare.
Até mesmo.
He walked through the water like a loaded sinner,
Lá fora.
and the devil stepped back when he found him there. No chain could drag him under, no
Isso é doido de pagar.
he was a storm on the
Isso é
black
só
road,
doido de pagar.
the debt they had to pay.
Ah, besteira.
I heard the river calling,
Eu vou tirar. Não, de loucura, doido. Ah,
felt
cara,
the
cai.
cold hands pull.
Ih,
The devil said, sink down slow. I said, this grave ain't full. I was chained, I was swallowed, I was left to the rain. But a man made of thunder, don't drown in pain.
rapaz, tá nublado. Tá esquisito.
Hell-bent river, fire in his hands, cold black stare. He walked through the water like a loaded sinner, and the devil stepped back when he found him When the river starts confessing and the moon burns pale as clay, you can hear those old boots coming for the debt they had to pay.
Candidato à reeleição pelo PT, participou da cerimônia do Dia do Soldado.
They found his coat by the widow's gate. Boot marks burning through the dust and hate. 3 black roses on a preacher's stone. Wind kept singing. He walks alone. And a gambler's grin, a blood-red bit riding under his skin. No one asked what hell he knew, but every candle burned cold blue. They said he fell where the ravens cried, with a widow's curse and a bullet inside, but the grave dirt cried. Some men rise when the guilty lie. He came back with a widowmaker gospel, fire in his mouth, dust in his veins. He walked through hell like a black coat angel, dragging thunder on a chain. No grave could hold him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last dark sermon the guilty had to feel. Turned red with 100 bolts behind his head. The banker prayed, the sheriff froze when that old black shadow rose. He said, I came for the names you sold. Now pay that debt.
Deus, acertou o tiro no cara? Matou tudo.
The church door shook, the horses cried, the saloon lights died from the inside, and far below where the lost souls yell, the devil heard that gospel bell. He came back with a widowmaker gospel, fire in his mouth, dust in his veins. He walked through hell like a black coat angel, dragging thunder on a chain. No grave could hold him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last dark sermon the guilty had to feel. I heard the widow praying. I saw the black dust rise. They said my name was finished. I said, not while liars breathe. I was cursed, I was buried, I was left in the rain. But a soul made of thunder comes back with a flame. dust in his veins. He walked through hell like a black coat angel, dragging thunder on the chain. No grave could hold him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last dark sermon the guilty had to feel. When the widow's bell starts ringing and the night turns cold as steel, you can hear that gospel walking the guilty had to feel.
Começam as quartas de final da Copa do Brasil.
They found his coat by the coffin nails. Rainwater running down the jailhouse rails. Two black lanterns by a broken stone. Thunder speaking through the bone. He had a cold-eyed stare and a rusted gun. A prayer gone dark from a life outrun. No one asked what grave he knew, but every candle burned black blue. They said he slept where the worms run deep, with 6 iron nails and no soul to keep. But the pine box cried, some men wake when the cowards lie. He came back with coffin nails and thunder, fire in his blood, dust on his name. He split that grave wide open and walked straight through the flame. No bell could bury him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last black one and the guilty had to feel. He rode into town with the storm behind, a cracked old cross and a loaded mine. The banker hit, the judge went still, and those boots came down from the hill. He said, I came for the lie you sold, now pay that debt before you're cold. The window shook, the dogs ran low, the church bell cried like a dying crow. And far below, where lost souls burned, the devil knew he had returned. He came back with coffin nails and thunder, fire in his blood, dust on his name. He split that grave wide open and walked straight through the flame. No bell could bury him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last black one in the guilty had to feel. I heard the coffin cracking, I felt the thunder roll. They said death had taken me. I said it missed my soul. I was nailed, I was covered, I was thrown to the rain. But a man born in thunder comes back
Tomou
through the
capeta.
pain.
Ah, comprou o cara offline, mano. O cara comprou um cara offline, velho.
Coffin nails and thunder,
Nossa, com um cara offline.
his blood dust on his name.
Vamos comprar o outro, mano.
He split that grave wide open and walked straight through the flame.
Vamos comprar um cara offline, mano.
Could bury him.
Ninguém tá comprando mal o cara, tá comprando o cara offline.
He was the last black warning the guilty had to feel.
Passou de lá, ele. Não passou, não.
When the graveyard starts shaking and the midnight bells all peal, you can hear that thunder walking.
E aí, meu nobre, olá.
Guilty
Olá.
had
Aí, já. Ela pra mim não vai pro teto. Não vai no teto, né? Tô caindo um cara solo ali. Eu vou pegar os caras solo. Tem que ser meteoro que não é tão fácil não, solo. Nem sempre solo é que fácil. Cadê esse rebaixeira?
They found his head by the crowbell rope.
Que fácil, é.
Dust on the floor where the
Não
dead
chegou perto,
lose
tá?
hope. Two black feathers on a Bible page. Smoke curled up like a holy rage.
Epa! Opa!
He had a scarlet mark and a rusted blade, a dead man's oath that the night obeyed. No one asked what grave he left, but every sinner held his breath. They said he died when the bell rang twice with his hands gone cold.
Cara, tá com ar!
Some men rise when the law is lied.
Fala!
When the crowbell
Meu Deus, vai jogar de dentro!
walking through the floor on his shoulder and thunder.
Tá correndo.
Judge could stop him.
Meu Deus, morreu, mas tá correndo, cara.
He was the
O número 1.
bell ringing.
Quanto que é, viu? Não peguei na arma não, tá? Era zoando. Eu vou aplicar a arma e volta lá pro dois.
Sunrise did a crooked cross hanging over the marshal ran the preacher's
Olha, agora tá vendo,
stare.
carinha.
Those old boots hit the square.
Ah não, cadê que tá 98, mano?
He said I came
Ah não, ele pegou a 600, né?
too high. Open that door and step outside.
Esse aqui ia morrer.
The windows cracked, the candles
Ele foi morrer.
cried. The guilty men looked dead inside, and far below where the dark winds roll, the devil heard that crow bell toll. When the crow
Esse aqui
bell
joga.
sounded, he came walking through the flame with death
Mano,
on his
quanto
shoulder
que...
and thunder in his name. No judge could stop him, no devil bound his soul.
Comprar o 3 também não vai dar certo. A gente tem um 3 que tem, velho. Deve comprar um 30 arma. Não, velho. Eu vou comprar um 38.
Rope swing free.
Número 2 tem que ver.
They said the grave had won.
Número 1 tá jogando, tá jogando igual.
I said it lost to me.
Deixa a vida, vai perto.
I was judged. I was broken. I was
Pega, pega, pega.
cast in the cold,
Errado, otário.
made of iron.
Errado, otário.
Can't be bought or sold.
Puxa arco pra mim, otário. Deixa cair a arma pra mim, otário. Levanta. A próxima tem a arma pra mim.
Bell sounded, he came walking through the flame with death on his shoulder and thunder in his name. No judgment
já
stopped
pegou aqui.
him, no devil bought his soul. He was the black bell ringing when the truth came home.
Meu Deus, cara.
Start shaking and the black crows start to roam. You can hear that bell still ringing when the truth came home.
Olha, velho.
Came home.
Porra! Ah, matou! Número 3 matou. Finaliza, número 3, fila da... Ah! Porra, mano, o cara mata, finaliza. Ai, corre, corre, corre!
They found his coat by the coffin.
Corre, meu Deus! Corre, meu Deus!
Nails
Corre, meu
back
Deus!
like the grave for
Tem inimigo, meu Deus! Correu, meu Deus!
three
Oh, meu
black candles by the
Deus!
undertaker's door.
Correu!
Smoke rolled out across the floor.
Não joguei nada, né?
A cracked jaw
Não,
and a
aqui, joguei
silver
nada.
chain. A dead man's grin in the freezing rain. No one asked what grave he crossed, but every liar knew what they lost. They said he slept where the cold dirt lies, with silver coins on his tired eyes. But the pine box cried, some men rise when the guilty hide. The coffin wouldn't close, the black dirt wouldn't stay. He came back
No
through the
telefone e
thunder
no
at the
jogo.
break of judgment day. No grave could hold him, no devil took his soul. He was the last dark warning when the coffin wouldn't close. He rode into town when the lamps burned low, with a torn black coat and a ghost white glow. Took a step back from the courthouse light when those old boots cracked the night. He said, I came for the debt you made, now pay it back before you fade. The saloon door shook, the horses cried, the church bell broke on the sinner's side, and far below where the lost souls froze, the devil heard that coffin close. The coffin wouldn't close, the black dirt wouldn't stay. He came back through the thunder at the break of judgment day. No grave could hold him, no devil took his soul. He was the last dark warning when the coffin wouldn't close. I heard the pine boards cracking. I felt the cold nails bend. They said my road was over. I said, not at the end. I was buried, I was broken, I was left with no name, but a soul made of thunder comes back through the flame. his soul. He was the last dark one, and when the coffin wouldn't close, when the graveyard starts shaking, and the cold night takes its toll, you can hear those boots returning. When the coffin wouldn't close. They found his knife by the saloon door. Blood on the dust and boots on the floor. 2 black cards on a dead man's chest. The west wind whispering, he ain't at rest. He had a silver scar and a cold black stare, a broken cross and a sinner's prayer. No one asked what hell he knew, but every lantern burned cold blue. They said he died with a bad man drink, with no more blood, no time to think. But the floorboards cried some in return when the devils blink. The devil's door was open, but he walked right back outside. On his shoulders and death too scared to ride. No chain could claim him, no grave could call him home. He was the last man laughing where the lost souls roam. He rode through town with the moon gone red and 100 ghosts behind his head. The bartender dropped his glass of rye when that old scar caught the light. He said, I came for the debt you hid, now answer for the blood you did. The windows cracked, the candles died, the sheriff crossed himself and cried. And far below where the black flames roar, the devil locked his open door. The devil's door was open, but he walked right back outside with fire on his shoulders and death too scared to ride. No chain could claim him, no grave could call him home. He was the last man laughing where the lost souls roam. I saw the red room waiting. I heard the black bells ring. The devil said, come closer. I said, you first, king.
Pera aí.
Comes back with his name.
Peraí, João Marcos. João Marcos.
The devil's door was open, but he walked right back outside with fire on his shoulders. Too scared to ride. No chain could claim him, no grave could call him home.
Pera aí,
He was
rapaz.
the last man
Tá
left
de pé, nossa, olha.
where the lost souls roll. When the red moon starts sinking and the saloon lights turn to stone, you can hear that door swing open, but he still walks alone.
Bom. Vai. Pera, curativo. Olha, eu vou fazer o trem. Tá na Lapa. Ai, ai, ai.
They found his coat by the graveyard fence.
Quer celular?
Blood in the dirt where the law made sense.
Já vai.
3 black stones by a nameless cross.
Cadê o saco de negócio?
Cool and counting with the town at a
Voltou lá dentro do seu quarto.
He had iron eyes and a sinner's jaw, a cracked old badge from a crooked law. No one asked what brave he fled, but every guilty mouth went dead. They said he slept where the dry bones lie, with a curse nailed shut under western sky. But the graveyard cried, some men rise when the cowards lie.
Boa. Ah, eu tô falando. Vou fazer. Vou fazer. Vou fazer. Gosto de algum.
The horses cried, the courthouse shook from the inside, and far below where the lost souls burned, the devil knew he had returned. He came back, made a graveyard iron, fire in his hands, thunder in his chest. He walked through hell with the dead behind him, and the devil knew he wasn't like the rest.
Tá lá no seu quarto, esse negócio por aqui.
No rope could drag him low. He was the black storm coming, where the guilty had to go. I heard the coffin breathing. I felt the cold dirt shake. They said my road was over. I said not till they break. I was buried, I was blackened, I was left to the stone. But a man built from iron
Tá aí no quarto.
comes walking home.
Era bom. Aqui era robô. Isso aqui era robô. É.
He came back, made a graveyard iron, fire in his hands, No rope could drag him low. He was the black storm coming, where the guilty had to go. When the guilty had to go. When the graveyard wind starts howling and the church lights burn low, you can hear that iron walking, where the guilty had to go.
Pode o curativo no meu PC joga, se você quiser com o celular.
They found his crown in the desert clay. Boot tracks leading where the saints don't pray. 3 black vultures on a broken sign, watching red smoke climb the pines. He had a rusted gun and a preacher's chain.
Já deixou pra lá. Eu não sei quem chamar pro seu
One asked what grave he crossed, but every line knew what mercy cost. They said he died when the last bell rang, but the dry ground split where his shadow hanged and the dust wind cried. Some men rise when the guilty hide. He came back where the crown of dust.
Pera, mano. Vem fazer o curativo na
Fire in
perna.
his hands and iron in his blood. He walked through hell like a loaded curse and made the devil look away first. No grave could keep him, no law could turn him down. He was the last dark warning, the man with the dust crown. He rode into town when the lamps burned low, with a black coat torn and a ghostly glow. The sheriff prayed by the courthouse light when those old boots shook the night. He said, I came for the debt you made. Now step outside and face that blade.
Meu Deus do céu.
The saloon door
Eu tava junto com o cara tava rindo comigo, não.
the church bell broke on the
É bote, né, essa música. Foi eu.
shout, the devil fell.
Foi eu, meu filho. Vou fazer trem, meu Deus do céu. Deixa eu pegar. Deus do céu, vocês estão meio pau de inteira por tudo, né? Meu Deus do céu. Tá morrendo, tá matando. Tá matando, tá matando. Tá matando ele. Meu Deus do céu. Oxe, que barulho é forte.
No law could turn him down. He was the last warning, the man with the dust crown.
Vai dar por isso.
I heard the black dirt calling.
Pega a cigarra, não. Eu não vou mexer com a cigarra, não. Tô falando que eu vou mexer. Não, mas eu não vou.
They said my soul was finished. I said,
Você tá dando certo com o soro, vai mexer com ela, cara.
wait.
Porra, com a agoniação da cor. O que eu vou fazer? Tá fazendo? Não é má vontade, não é você que vão botar eu de café. Vai botar eu da cor, pô. Que é nosso para a igreja? Vou botar
I
eu
was
de pronto.
broken. I was thrown in the
Oh.
ground. But a man
Eu pegar
made
essa
of
coisa, quando eu fazer uma
thunder.
coisa,
Don't
pode pegar
stay
essa coisa,
buried
pode
down.
Eu sou o dia todo desse capeta, tô. O dia todo do Satanás. Eu tô o dia todo dessa porra mesmo. Mas eu sou o dia todo desse Satanás. Dodei.
back wearing a crown of dust.
Doido?
Fire in his hands and iron in his blood. He walked through hell like a loaded curse and made the devil look away first. No grave could keep him, no law could turn him down. He was the last dark warning, the man with the dust crown. When the desert starts confessing and the red moon settles down, you can hear those old boots coming. The man with the dust crown. With the dust crown.
Toda hora isso, agoniação. Mas eu vou fazer, calma aí que eu vou fazer, eu vou fazer.
They found his coat by the burning
Eu tô
rail.
fazendo trem, agora se você cai do campo,
Footprints leading past the jail.
fala uma vez, já escutei, eu vou fazer o trem.
Three black crows on a hanging wire, watching smoke rise from the fire.
Toda hora de campo.
He had a pistol wrapped in twine, a dead man's cone and a crooked sign. No one asked what road he came, but every candle bent from the flame. They said he died down in Abilene, buried cold beneath the mesquite. But the ground shook hard and the preacher cried, some men don't stay where they laid to lie. He was the last soul the devil feared, with fire in his blood and death drawing near. He walked through hell with a loaded hand, came back burning like a judgment man. No grave could hold him, no cross could keep him near. He was the last man standing, the last soul the devil feared. He rode through town when the moon turned red with 100 ghosts behind his head. The bartender dropped his glass of rye when he saw that scar beneath his eye. He said, I ain't here for silver or gold, I'm here for the dead on a liar's soul. I left my mercy in a shallow grave, and I ain't come back here to behave. The church bell cracked, the lanterns died, dogs ran low with their tails held tight, and somewhere deep where the dead men sleep, the devil learned how fear can creep. Was the last soul the devil feared, with fire in his blood and death drawing near. He walked through hell with a loaded hand, came back burning like a judgment man. No grave could hold him, no cross could keep him near. He was the last man standing, the last soul the devil feared. I seen the gates, I heard them call, I felt the flames crawl up the wall. The devil said, boy, you belong to me. I said, then come take what's left and see. I was burned, I was buried, I was left. The fire don't feel what burns.
pronto, cadê o fundo? Não vou fazer, calma. Ah, aí, ó. Vem com o seu cartão não, moço. Vem cá, você tem? Sei lá.
Man standing, the last soul the devil feared. When the desert wind starts calling, and the butterflies disappear, you hear those old blues walking. The last soul the devil feared.
Está daqui, daqui de cima da rádio. Meu pai de Deus, aleluia. Está aqui tem coisa. Oh, meu Deus, está daqui da caixa. A caixa está daqui.
They found his coat by the coffin nails. Rainwater running down the jailhouse rails. Two black lanterns by broken stone. Thunder speaking through the bone.
Ah, meu Deus. Ah, cagado, mano. Eita. Aí, moço, meu Deus. Ah, não, tá matando. Ah, tem religioso, né? Eu nem arro, eu não sei de controle, pai. Não sei de controle.
Judge went still when those boots came down from the hill. He said, I came for the lie you sold. Now pay that debt before you
Já morreu, hein?
The window shook, the dogs ran low, the church bell cried like a dying crow. And far below where lost souls burn, the devil knew he had returned. He came back with coffin nails and thunder. Fire in his blood, dust on his name. He split that grave wide open, straight through the flame. No bell could bury him, no devil made him. It was the last black morning. The guilty had to feel.
Deixa, eu não vou guardar nada, não, porque eu não vou guardar nada.
Coffin cracking,
Eu quero barulho do meu quarto, não.
Que aqui é barulho desse jeito?
felt the thunder roll.
Por que você fica falando desse jeito?
Essa casa tem
Aqui é barulho desse jeito, não sei por quê. Ainda faz de lá de Tipatioba. Pai, ainda faz de Tipatioba.
Soul.
Olha como é que é. Sai de controle!
Poxa, daqui, eu tô feliz.
Ah, sei lá de controle.
Daqui, eu tô feliz.
Será queimado? É o queimado que faz. Deixa aí em cima da Raquel Chico.
was nailed, I was covered, I was thrown to the rain. But a man born in thunder comes back through the pain.
Todo mundo que pegou, todo mundo que estava aqui pegou com gol.
He came back with coffin nails and thunder, fire in his blood, dust on his name. He split that grave wide open and walked straight through the flame. No bell could bury him, no devil made him kneel. He was the last black warning the guilty had to feel. When the graveyard starts shaking and the midnight bells all peal, you can hear that thunder walking the guilty had to feel. They found his coat by the canyon wire, boots still warm by a preacher's fire. 3 black snakes in chapel sand, cold where he made his final stand. He had a burn mark under one eye, dead man's grin and the mouth gone dry. No one asked what road he crossed, but every lie knew what mercy cost. They said he fell where the dry bells rang, but the red dirt shook when the night bird sang. And the gray wind cried, some men returned when the guilty
agora.
came back with a rattlesnake mercy, fire in his hands, dust in his soul. He walked through hell like a loaded
Deixa eu pegar o negócio aqui, ó. Coloca aí, ó.
lost control.
Coloca aí, ó. Aqui, ó. Coloca aí, ó. Coloca aqui, ó. Aqui, ó. Dá o dedo, coloca aí. Coloca aí, dá o dedo. Aí, aqui no dedo, aqui no dedo. Aí, coloca.
He rode through town when the lamps burned red, with a crooked cross above his head. The sheriff froze by the county sign when he heard those spurs drag out of time. He said, I came for the ones who lied. Step out now, or run and hide. The windows cracked, the horses cried, the saloon door slammed from the inside, and far below where the dead men yelled, the devil heard that mercy bell. He came back with a rattlesnake mercy, fire in his hands, dust in his soul. He walked through hell like a loaded curse, and the devil lost control. No road could hold him, no grave could close that door. He was the last dark warning, coming back for more. I heard the snake bells sing. I saw the black dust rise. They said mercy died with me. I said, look in my eyes.
coisa de ninguém.
comes back with a name.
Banhou, achou aqui em cima da rádio, carregando o animado.
Não tem outra condição, não tem. Então eu tô falando que eu fui,
He came back with a rattlesnake mercy, fire in his hands, dust in his soul. He walked through hell like a loaded curse, and the devil lost control. No rope could hold him, no grave could close that door. He was the last dark warning, coming back for more. When the canyon stars whisper and the chapel lights burn low, you can hear that mercy coming.
Eu sei, mas vou ficar pegando mais não. Tem mais não.
Ele não entendeu muito. Não tem outra coisa.
Não foi outra coisa, não.
Ele não entendeu.
Eu não tenho outra coisa, não. Tem que ser condição outra ser outra coisa, não. Com certeza foi menino. Sabia mesmo, eu tô falando sério. Não. Não. Cara, deixa eu pegar lá. Não tem da porra, não?
The call came in around midnight. Just rain that said my name. I knew before I heard the details. Some roads only in one way. I drove out hard through Miller County with my hands locked wide around the wheel.
A caixinha tem botão. Tem que pegar o controle. Tem um que eu quero pegar controle, a caixinha tem função.
Through a silence I could feel.
Mas o botão não havia não, gente.
She still sets his place. She still sets his place. His back was folded in the guardrail.
E nessa casa não fica nada, não.
Prayer nobody heard.
Tudo me mete a mão. Tudo que põe nessa
Ditch
coisa.
grass. Night
Hoje me pegou e
living
também o menino me pegou e meteu a mão e ganhou.
Maluco.
there staring at the wreckage, at the steam rising from the rain. Thought how fast a living body turns into a thing you name.
Ele passou a
She
mão.
still sets his place.
Ele falou, não, é agora que eu pego. Se quiser chamar.
She still sets his place.
Ela não nada, danada. Eu vou encaminhado lá cantando.
She opened up the door in house
E ele falou pra brincar que o menino falou.
kitchen light behind her back. I took my hat off, tried to say it,
É esse que tá os meninos
the
dele.
truth don't come
Parece
out
que é os meninos
like
dele.
that. There was chili on the stove, still
Dá dor de
warm.
cabeça.
His work shirt hanging by the chair, and on the table 2 plates waiting like he might walk in from anywhere. She still sets his place. Now every Friday after sundown, She pours one beer and leaves it there. Says she knows he ain't coming through that door, but grief don't run on what is fair. The boys stop by and talk too softly. No one stays too late these days because some kinds of hurt don't heal up. They just learn the room and stay. She still sets his place. And I still hear his laugh in traffic. Still see his tail light in the rain. But the hardest thing I ever witnessed was love with nowhere
Oi, moço, tô falando o quê?
Oh, meu Deus, já que apoiou meu controle, carregou o braço.
She still sets his place.
É luva. Você pegou isso aí pra quê?
Eu não peguei, não.
Você tá aí dentro da casa, tá dentro da sacola. Como é que você não pegou?
Tá daqui em cima, ó. Eu tenho que estar daqui, ó. Ajuda lá. Me pegou pra sua mão, eu carreguei. Ai, Nossa Senhora, casa que não fica nada. Casa que não fica nada.
Saturday night. Saturday night. Yeah, pulled in hot to a back row bar, neon buzzing and a beat up guitar. Girl by the jukebox, wicked smile, looking like trouble in a low cut style. She said, boy, you ride like you don't fear pain. I said, honey, pain's just part of the chain. Band hit hard and the whole room swayed like the walls themselves wanted in on the raid. One more round, one more song. If the law shows up, we'll be long gone. Red line revival, raise that sound. Big black thunder, shaking the ground. Southbound sinners on the ride. Red line revival. Saturday night.
Meu Deus, cadê o peito? Eu não subiu o capa. Ah, os outros dois já morreram. Meu Deus, o cara tá igual a vestido. Não sai do lugar, mano. Tá só flanquear, não tá não. Tá no flanqueia, mano. Ah, pô. ver o quê?
Ride or die. There's an old coat hanging by the doorway, and a ring stain on the kitchen wood. The house still sounds like you on Sundays, even now, when it knows I'm no good. I keep the TV talking softly, just to break the weight a little bit. But the silence always finds me like a debt I never quite could quit. I got old keys and empty rooms, a half-dead light and a worn-out moon, a name I still don't say out loud, and a life that don't fit this town. Some men move on, some just learn the blues. I got old keys and empty rooms. I saw your sister at the grocery. She asked if I still play that guitar. I told her not much since you left me. Truth is, I don't get all that far. A couple chords and then I lose it. Start hearing footsteps down the hall. Funny how a heart can keep on
Qual controle?
beating when it ain't healed up
Ah, eu sei lá.
at all. I got old keys and empty rooms, a half-dead light and a worn-out moon, a name I still don't say out loud, and a life that don't fit this town. Some men move on, some just learn the blues. I got old keys and empty rooms. I ain't mad, I ain't bitter, I just wear it different now. Like a coat gone thin in winter, smoke that never leaves the house. I still talk to you in headlights,
Mano,
the road runs black and
vou pra cá
late.
aqui, ó.
Like maybe somewhere in the darkness, you still know my face. I got old keys and empty rooms, the front porch dark by 2:30. A memory that won't lie down, and a heart still dragging you around. Some men find peace, some just lose. I got old keys and empty rooms. Yeah, the house goes still and the clock talks low. I keep one key for a door I know won't open anymore.
passaram a mão, pai. Esquece. Esquece, já era. Sabe onde que anda com esse menino? O menino dele não dá certo, porque o menino dele é malhando.
Nem dia pra cá.
We left that bar.
Não foi outra coisa, foi muito pegou.
Two old bags and sky gone me. He left that
É tua.
like nothing could touch.
Ninguém falou com coisa na carta.
Like trouble
E a outra
was
pessoa não ia
just
pegar
another
isso.
thing. But
Hoje
rode
o
that
menino pegou, entrou,
stretch
apanhou. Assim, já era
100
rapa.
Sundays past the pines and the railroad line. But that night the road had murder in it, and the dark came down before its time.
Essa meninada tá dando trabalho pro menino.
Made it home.
O menino dele não escuta ele, não escuta a mulher. O menino passa mel, só que o menino passa mel. O menino dele.
Saw the red lights
O menino dele passa mel na boca dele.
Falou, jogou no mato.
saw one heart swerve and a burst of chrome,
Não melhor, também é problema aqui.
and the ditch grass bent like it was praying, and the whole damn world went still and wrong. I ran back shouting through the gravel, hit my knees in the mud and glass. But some things break beyond all fixing, and some breaths just ain't built to last. He never made it home. His old lady stood out on the porch with the kitchen light behind her frame. I didn't have words worth bringing, so I just held my hat and said his name. She closed her eyes like she already knew it, like fear had been there all night long. Then she folded in the doorway slowly, like half her body had just gone. He never made
Meu Deus do céu, acho que tava cá ainda. Achei que tava cá ainda.
Now I keep his clothes in my saddlebag,
Ah, o Luciano não sai jogar.
and his last smoke tin
Acabou.
by the
O Luciano não sai jogar, não.
E aí, Luciano, vai que não tá aqui.
Não, vou passar nada não.
start morning.
Carrega que não tem, que não vai dar controle pra ele aonde? Não esconde o controle pra ele dele.
Boy still raised a glass
Chegou
of
aqui.
pride, still leave one chair against the wall, but every mouth feels slightly broken since that night took he never made it home. I still ride that road past midnight,
Não tá enfiado aí, não tem.